Thank you, Pastry. TL says no thank you to a 5-game series like the one we saw yesterday and put forth another dominant victory here over FlyQuest to take the clean 3-0 and make their 3rd consecutive finals to defend their title.
They looked scary. They busted out comps that nobody else was doing with the Sona Taric. Like, it had to be banned. Not that anybody else was not doing it, but Jensen being able to solo Pobelted, that is the one that really has to hurt because, like we keep saying, this is your replacement, and he actually killed you in lane, and that feels bad.
And I like this series a lot for Team Liquid, if you're a Team Liquid fan, because you got to see your solo laners be the primary focus of the carrying and the wins. And, you know, Doublelift and Core JJ were fine this series, but it really felt like Game 2 was a lot about impact, Game 3 was a lot more about Jensen, but even the Victor was super good this game. So it used to be called this one-dimensional team, and you felt like Doublelift was the only real play style, and now it feels like other people can be the carries.
Right. Impact has been trying to get better and better at carries, right? And we can see in this series that he's gotten a lot stronger at it. And it's not like he's playing against a weak top lane or anything, right? He's against the rookie of the split, Viper, and Viper is a strong carry top laner, and he's still performing very well in that. We see Doublelift picking Sona, which I actually really dislike, and I wasn't that impressed by Sona, but like they definitely took the back foot in the series, like, hey team, you guys got this, you carry me, I'll carry you in the finals or something like that.
I think it's really interesting to hear from Doublelift in that interview. For Doublelift, that was fairly tempered, fairly reserved. And Mark, you kind of you made the comment like, wow, their scrims must really not have been that great.
To get Doublelift to be that reserved in an interview, you must have had some tough scrims. Luckily, Steve came on after and laid out some smack talk for us.
But it was true smack talk. FlyQuest didn't put up a fight.
No.
How many turrets did they take? How many ganks did they do?
0 in this
How
game.
many proper drafts? Like, it was not very prepared for FlyQuest. It looks like they ran out of steam maybe in the last series because they didn't have much to show for this one, unfortunately.
Right, but I think it also points again to the idea that Team Liquid refound themselves a little bit. Again, supports the idea that where maybe they were a, you know, one-track-minded, single-threat composition throughout the regular split, they are no longer that. And that's going to have to be something that TSM takes into consideration when looking ahead towards the finals. We'll preview that finals matchup in just a bit, but I do want to kind of give our nod to FlyQuest and their split as they will be exiting the scene here at this point.
Overall, an uptick with how things ended in 2018. You know, they got knocked out in quarterfinals, that playoffs. This time they make semifinals, and it was a really hard-fought, you know, road to get here, having to take down Golden Guardians. So overall, a split that they can definitely be proud of.
I mean, it's a team with no imports. Like, you made it this far. That's actually really impressive every single time. Like, you have to always commend when a team can do that in a region that is filled with world champions.
Right, the results
that don't
are getting...
actually come from here.
That don't actually come from here.
It
Yeah,
hurts
yeah.
to say.
Hi.
The results are getting better, the fan base is growing, they're creating more content. So everything for FlyQuest, even outside the game, is looking to get better and better and better.
I think, yeah, you have to consider, too, that it is a year of rebuilding, bringing in some of these guys. Yes, some veterans, some new players, but just like Cloud9 with Licorice last year, you know, rookie of the split for Viper in the top lane. We'll see if he continues to improve and makes more of a name for himself against the rest of the top laners in the league come summer. Again, Invert, he was in the discussion for, you know, coach of the split for that 4th place squad in FlyQuest, and I think I'll be curious to see what kind of learnings he takes maybe from his best of 5 experience here looking towards the playoffs in summer.
Yeah, I mean, he was a rookie coach in some regards. He had coached in University of Toronto, then coached in Academy, but this was his first LCS playoff, you know, best of 5, or second one, excuse me, and this was his first playoffs as a whole. Looked pretty good in the first round, and this second time, like we were saying, you know, it was something to be desired, so maybe scrims didn't go well that week. It's hard to know, but there's a lot to improve on this team. It's not just the players, it's the entire staff that can level up.
Luckily, it's spring. You always have that room to grow in summer, and the best thing is that you set the tone for what summer is going to be. You've already raised the bar significantly higher for the org. Next summer, potentially looking for that world spot. If FlyQuest can do well, they're going to represent.
Just want to keep climbing. Now, Liquid's road to the finals came with swift determination from all 5 members, but Impact had an especially good series, earning him player of the series.
Right, and it was pretty close between him and Jensen, honestly, for us. We were talking back and forth about what we thought would have been a better choice. Jensen obviously had a monstrous Game 3, but it's not like Impact didn't also have a monstrous Game 3. And for me, it came down to, like, I didn't expect Impact to be this dominant over Viper and FlyQuest in general, whereas I expected Jensen to do what he already did. And the impact that he had across all 3 games was significant enough for me to give him that.
Yeah, I think coming into the series, this is not the champ pool you would have expected to see Impact on, and that probably threw them for a bit of a loop in the draft as well.
That's going to be so impressive moving on to the finals, because now you've got a top laner that also busts out the victor. What else does he have in store? Because this is a matchup that he had against the Akali. We know Broken Blade is really good at that. We have the Jace being first pick so often. Like, I really want to see this matchup now.
It might be shaking in your boots a little bit if you're Broken Blade right now.
Well, are you? You started playing tanks recently since Bjergsen's been getting more of the resources in playoffs.
Yeah.
He played the Cho'Gath.
And the Vladimir.
But I don't even mean from like a champion pool perspective. I'm talking more about the idea that we've mentioned Impact does always seem to make that step up in the playoffs, postseason, or come Worlds and International tournament time. And then again, to see him diversify back into, hey, I still have the tank play, and now I've got the carry threats. Just with that veteran experience and pedigree, I'm sitting here as Broken Blade looking across from a world champion. I'm maybe a little bit concerned.
Is he back in town, right? Like,
exactly.
The time you're like, okay, this is yours. There you go.
The one thing you know is like Team Liquid, regular season slump, scrims don't look that good. None of that matters to a team with this much experience when you put him on a stage like the Shea Fitz Arena. You know, it's a big stage, and they've all been there countless times before.
Right. I think Broken Blade's pretty excited for the matchup, honestly.
He looks like he's ready to go.
I hope so.
Like, I would be excited at the opportunity to play Faker, right? I'm not quavering in my boots. I'm like, oh no, Faker. I'm like, yes, I want to play this guy and try and beat him up or learn from him, right? And he already played versus the best top laner in North America already. So now his first Impact. Is he really going to be afraid? I think he's here to make his claim that he's the best top laner.
I hope you're exactly right, Hi. In our semifinal week, we had enough pop-off moments to pack some flashy highlight reels, but these were the ones worthy of being named in LCS Big Play. First up, Iora NJ chronicled their reaction to Viper's quadra kill. Yo, Viper. Yo, Viper. Yo, Viper.
Here comes the play. A knock-up in. Galley was well. Can they knock down one? They've gotten the first kill at a Sona. Devillift is gone. In goes the cannon. Looks for turning it around, but not just yet. Viper is online for the double kill. Looks for number 3. Can't find it just yet, but he might get it there. That 3 for Viper in his first playoffs. He's already won one series. Looking for another. Looking for kill number 4. They found the stun, and it is a quadra kill for Aurelia.
I really thought that was going to be the moment where FlyQuest turned everything around. It was like, all right, change the predictions. It's all over. FlyQuest has got this
He was
series.
doubting himself.
Yeah.
And then you see Sona Taric on the enemy team. You're like, I need more than that.
We're still trying to figure out how you dismantle a Sona Taric composition aside from a ban in Champion Select. If you have any ideas, let us know. Next up, Frank Kratos marveled at Bjergsen's carrying ability, claiming he could probably deadlift 1,000 pounds with how strong his back is.
Smoothie's gonna be the target, taken very low. Ultimate keeps him alive for now. A lot of damage on Cloud9. And here comes your janitor, baby! Mop and bucket at the ready. It's Bjergsen on cleanup duty. Fitzgerald's gonna be taken low. Sneaky's gonna be taken down. Zazel drops next.
Wait for a call, play slow. Holding here.
Okay.
Poke. Yeah, good fight. Good fight.
Zillion ult.
He said.
Let's go. Jinx. Look, I flash. Zillion ult here. Jinx has flash.
Yeah.
Careful. Nice, good job. Nice, look.
That was actually so well played mechanically. The E over the wall for the Jarvan takes out the Zillion with no ult.
Yeah, good target
That's
selection.
a good player.
Not focusing on the Jarvan, who is super low, actually using his next ult charge to get the kill on the carry instead, and then go back to the Jarvan. I mean, that's also a call who's like Dream, where the enemy team has already blown a lot of cooldowns on the front line of the fight, and you come in on the tail end and just get all the cleanup kills. Super well played, perfect opportunity.
And they called it. It's like, wait for a call
it was
before you
conscious.
go in.
It wasn't lucky that this happened.
Right, both plays, Assassin or Bruiser teleporting behind a ton of squishy people. That's their dream right there. Low wage people with nothing.
And the moment made all that much more special by the fact that it needed to happen then. For
Against
TSM,
Baron
for TSM to win that series, they needed the turnaround in that moment. And it's Bjergsen of all people to step up to the moment and deliver and start that reverse sweep. Thank you so much for tweeting at us all split long. We'll need you to come out in full force as we make our way to the Shea Fitz Arena over there in St. Louis. Team Liquid's 3-0 today has booked them a trip to their 3rd consecutive final, and we'll see if they can three-peat versus TSM, who took down Echo Fox and Cloud9 to earn their shot in St. Louis.
They already kind of talked about it a little bit in the interviews. Doublelift versus Bjergsen for the crown of the first one to 6 championships, and probably the leg up in the debate right now that has been revitalized since Doublelift has gone on this winning streak of who is North America's best player. It was Bjergsen undoubtedly for so long, and now there's been this rally for Doublelift, and it's the perfect time for Bjergsen to try and chime in and say no.
For either of them, right?
Yeah,
Either Doublelift ends the conversation or Bjergsen reignites it in a sense. But both of them sitting with 5 titles, looking to take that 6th. Only one of them can do it.
I mean, I'm going to put my hat in the ring here and say that it's Bjergsen as the #1 because look at the team that Doublelift has around him. He has world champions all over. He's got some of the best junglers all over, whereas Bjergsen has a lot less to work with and still has the same amount of trophies.
Well, if we're talking historically, Bjergsen's almost always been the best team in North America, right? To cement his legacy, TSM has almost always been at the top. And it's only recently that Doublelift has started to take that over with Team Liquid, taking the first place. So I think it's a pretty comparable comparison between those two. And I don't really know who I'd give it to.
Right, you had the Forever Fourth era of TL. Doublelift comes in, and that's where we finally see them begin to kind of shirk that title and become a championship contender. Outside of just the conversation for Doublelift and Bjergsen, both at 5 titles, there's a lot more on the line, actually, that I think some people are overlooking. Jensen still searching for his first domestic title. This is a guy who's normally as well in that conversation to challenge Bjergsen as one of the best mid laners in all of North America.
Yeah, Sven as well. Coming over from Europe, heralded as one of the best marksman players ever from that region, and then comes over to North America and has one of the worst splits in TSM's history. You know, that's such a tarnish on his legacy that I'm sure he is desperate for another championship.
But if he wins, he will actually be the first player in history to win a championship in both EU and North America. So again, just even more on the line for both sides as we move towards St. Louis.
And on top of that, you got MSI representation. That's even more honor than winning the LCS, because if you can actually pull off a win there, forget about Worlds. If we have an MSI title, our trophy case is used.
So we're talking a lot about what's on the line, right? What's at stake, the pride, the glory, all of these things. What do you guys actually think about the matchup? Because the roads to getting to the finals, very different for each of these squads. Team Liquid starting hot at the top of the split, trailing off a little bit, coming back into form here in playoffs. TSM starting slow, ending hot, having a really tough 5-game series where they're pushed to the absolute brink in order to qualify. So when these two teams come head-to-head, what do you expect to see?
So I think it's going to be a lot of back and forth in the draft. Somebody's going to bust out Sona Taric again, so it's going to have to be banned. Then you have the Akali and the Jaces. Who's going to be running that? With the Zoe and then the jungler, Jarvan and Rex. There's so many picks that just go back and forth that whoever comes out ahead in draft, I think will have a huge advantage. And I know that Ziggs was one of the guys that was in our running for coach of the split, whereas Kane was in there as well, but I think that we felt like Ziggs had done a better job with the drafts and the direction that TSM has.
What's really interesting is I feel like the regular season trends have all been bucked in the playoffs. Team Liquid having success on carries top, Broken Blade playing a tank when needed to. The fact that TSM beat their rock, paper, scissors rival in Cloud9, and now we're going to the second part of that rock, paper, scissors matchup, and with the fact that nothing else has held true from the regular season, it's actually really hard to try and use history to predict what's going to happen.
I'm going to say that they're probably both going to draft scaling comps. I don't believe either team will be able to destroy the other one within 20 minutes based off how these games went. So hopefully they learn what strong late game scaling comps are and pick accordingly to that and make it a good best of 5.
That's it right there. April 13th, St. Louis Chaifetz Arena. Mark your calendars, because we'll be there, and we hope to see you there too. But now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Saturday for the LCS Final.
Team Liquid were the favorites coming into the year. Doublelift, Core JJ, absolute juggernauts in their roles. And FlyQuest with a rookie top laner and a few new additions as well. It's time for the battle to join TSM in St. Louis. Someone to heal might be enough. Will there be the extra auto attacks? Impact coming in to try to help out as well. Flashing over the wall, flashing to follow. 2 autos should be enough, and it is!
Yeah, I got Jace. Yeah, look, Kennen on help. Kennen no out. Oh, Taric just flash. I can get Kennen. I can keep going. Yeah, I have a W and 2. Look at all. If you get one more, you can Baron. You can Baron after this. You can Baron. You don't need to go. Hey, go Olaf too. That's all you if you want to go for Olaf. Yeah. Nice. Let's go, baby.
Go. Zoe.
Yeah.
Yes, flash. Keep going.
Okay. Enemies here.
Any help? You're okay. Rek'Sai. And then the rest.
I got you.
Impact gonna land some damage, and there is first blood. There is the pull. They found Ezreal, and maybe you gotta pay your tax. It's April after all. 2 for 0, make it 3. Team Liquid will not be stopped.
I wonder who else buys hand warmers other than
I have hand warmers.
in your house.
Yeah.
Why? What's the point?
Cold hands.
Okay. Oh my god. Wow, nice reason. In my mind, in my worldview, I always wanted the most.
That could be enough. The flash is too late. It's gonna burn, and that's first blood. 1v1 in the mid lane for Jensen.
Bears 1 HP. Bears 1 HP, in fact.
Yeah, I can slow it.
No flash backside, no flash backside.
Okay, I'm going to say.
Take, come. Take, come.
One more tag. One more tag. It's out of range. It gets to stay alive. Oh, I've seen that one before. Let's go Liquid to the finals.